Hey folks, Matt Easton here, scholagladiatoria. So this is not a rant as such, and I don't want it to come across as such. I also am aware that in saying what I'm about to say, it might, in England we would say, rub someone up the wrong way. And I don't want that to happen. And I'm going to talk very briefly, and I will honestly try and keep this as brief as possible, about Polish sabre. But I'm not actually talking about Polish sabre. I'm actually talking about everything else in HEMA that's not Polish sabre. Let me elaborate on that. So I've noticed that obviously I talk about sabres quite a lot because that's one of the main things I study, and what I personally study is British military sabre to a lesser extent, and I don't talk about this very much, other Northern European military sabre traditions as well. I'm quite interested in French military sabre, German military sabre, and Italian to a lesser extent, but I'm also interested in that as well. I'm basically interested in all things, and as many of my regular viewers will know, I'm also interested in Middle Eastern and Indian sword use specifically, but martial arts in general as well. And when I talk about sabres, a lot of people go, Polish sabre this, Polish sabre that, and talk a lot about Polish sabres. And this is largely thanks to the efforts of a few people such as Richard Marsden, who's got an excellent book, as I understand it, I haven't read it myself, about Polish sabre. Now, I don't want to say that studying Polish sabre or doing Polish sabre is in any way a bad thing. It's not. It's fantastic, and it's great that people like Jerzy and Richard and Daria are out there doing Polish sabre research. That's absolutely fantastic. But what niggles me just slightly is that there are literally a buttload of other treatises, other traditions out there that people could be studying that actually have treatises. And this is the elephant in the room with Polish sabre. There are no real extant historical treatises for Polish sabre before the end of the 19th century, pretty much. So what most people are doing as Polish sabre is supposedly 17th century style Polish sabre, but there are no treatises for it, and it's very important to recognise that. Now again, I'm not saying people should stop studying it or stop looking at the various sources that we can look at, little bits of Marcelli and little bits of Dusak traditions and references in historical works and biographical works that talk about the uses of sabres in that period in Poland and Hungary and surrounding areas. Absolutely, that's fantastic that people are doing that, but it is reconstructive HEMA. There are no treatises for it. The only thing that really bothers me is that Polish sabre is getting so much attention, which is great, and I don't want to, take away from that, when there are all these other things that do have treatises, when Polish sabre doesn't, have treatises, English backsword, French military sabre, German military sabre, all of these other things about cool weapons and cool traditions and cool systems that have actual manuals and treatises there ready to be studied, and no one's studying them. And that makes me really, really sad. So, just to conclude, I'm not in any way against people studying Polish sabre. That's fantastic. I just really wish that there was a proportionate number of people studying the things which do have treatises and do have manuals and are really well documented, as there are a number of people studying Polish sabre which doesn't really have any treatises. So I hope that makes sense. But for all the Polish sabre people out there, I do love you, and I do love Polish sabres, and I do love Poland, and I've had a fantastic time looking at Karabellas and other types of Polish sabre in Krakow and why did I say that word? Krakow and other parts of Poland, and it's fantastic that you do what you do. I'm not disparaging that at all. When you look at the fact that Polish sabre's got so popular so quickly based on no treatises, except for Starzyski's kind of reconstructive attempts in the 19th century, except for that, and then you look at all these other traditions that there are manuals and there are treatises for and no one's studying them, that makes me sad a little bit. Anyway, I hope that's clear. Cheers folks, bye! Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, follow us on Facebook. You can buy t-shirts through Spreadshirt, support us on Patreon, or follow us on Pinterest. Thank you.